At the 2026 edition of the Masters Tournament, one of golf's most beloved traditions delivered a moment that was equal parts nostalgic, humorous, and slightly chaotic. Legendary golfer Jack Nicklaus, fondly known as the Golden Bear, stepped onto the first tee to perform his ceremonial opening shot, continuing a role he has proudly held for over a decade. But this year, the moment took an unexpected turn that had patrons reacting in a way rarely seen at Augusta. Dressed in his iconic yellow sweater, Nicklaus approached the tee with a mix of pride and caution. At 86 years old and having recently undergone carpal tunnel surgery, the six-time Masters champion was fully aware of his physical limitations. Still, the honor of opening the tournament meant everything to him, and he was determined to carry on the tradition. As he lined up his shot, there was a visible sense of hesitation. Unlike the powerful and precise drives that defined his legendary career, this swing came with uncertainty. In fact, Nicklaus later admitted he didn't even take a practice swing, something his fellow honorary starter Tom Watson would jokingly point out afterward. When Nicklaus finally struck the ball, the result was far from textbook. Instead of soaring straight down the fairway, the ball veered sharply left, traveling roughly 110 yards before heading directly toward the gallery. Spectators who had gathered nearby were suddenly forced to react, ducking and shielding themselves as the ball approached. For a brief moment, the usually serene atmosphere of Augusta National was replaced by a flurry of movement and startled laughter. True to his character, Nicklaus immediately turned the situation into a light-hearted moment. As the ball headed toward the crowd, he shouted, "4." A traditional warning in golf, but followed it up with humor as he walked off the tee. "I didn't kill anybody. I barely didn't kill anybody," he joked, drawing laughter from those around him. Watson, never one to miss an opportunity for playful banter, chimed in with a quip, "You didn't take a practice swing, that was your problem." Nicklaus responded with a grin, admitting he had simply forgotten. Despite the errant shot, the moment perfectly captured the charm and humility that have made Nicklaus a beloved figure in the sport. Even in a situation that could have been embarrassing, he managed to entertain fans and remind everyone why he remains such an enduring presence at the Masters. Speaking to the media afterward, Nicklaus provided more insight into the challenges he faced. Due to his recent surgery, he was unable to bend down to place the ball on the tee himself, relying instead on his caddy for assistance. He also revealed that he had anticipated the possibility of a wayward shot and had even warned spectators in advance. "I said, spread out on both sides, because I don't want to kill anybody," he said with a smile. "If it had been a little closer, I might have." The comment, while delivered humorously, reflected a genuine awareness of his current physical condition. Carpal tunnel surgery, which involves relieving pressure on the median nerve in the wrist, can significantly impact grip strength and control, two crucial elements in a golfer's swing. For someone who once dominated the sport with precision and power, adapting to these limitations is no small challenge. Yet, despite these obstacles, Nicklaus remains deeply committed to the ceremonial role. Since becoming an honorary starter in 2010, he has embraced the responsibility with enthusiasm and gratitude. The tradition itself holds a special place in the history of the Masters, symbolizing continuity and respect for the legends who shaped the game. Over the years, Nicklaus has been joined by other icons. Gary Player became part of the ceremony in 2012, completing the famed Big Three alongside Nicklaus and the late Arnold Palmer. Palmer eventually stepped back in 2016 due to health concerns, but the tradition continued with Nicklaus and Player carrying the torch. In 2021, Augusta National paid tribute to Lee Elder, the first African-American golfer to compete in the Masters, by including him as an honorary starter. Although Elder was too frail to hit a shot, his presence was a powerful and emotional moment in the tournament's history. A year later, Watson joined the group, creating a new trio of honorary starters who collectively boast an incredible legacy: 11 Masters titles and 140 appearances at Augusta National. Together, they represent generations of excellence and serve as a living bridge between the past and present of golf. For Nicklaus, continuing in this role is about more than tradition, it's about staying connected to the game he loves. He has often expressed his desire to follow in the footsteps of Sam Snead, who participated in the ceremony well into his later years. "As long as I can still hit the golf ball," Nicklaus said, "I hope to be able to do it." Interestingly, he also revealed how little he plays these days. Having only played once in the current year and once the year before, his time on the course has become increasingly limited. Still, the ceremonial tee shot remains a meaningful exception, a moment where he can relive the magic of Augusta, even if only briefly. As the honorary starters completed their shots, Fred Ridley officially declared the tournament open, marking the beginning of another chapter in Masters history. The patrons responded warmly, applauding the trio and celebrating the continuation of a cherished tradition. While Nicklaus's role on the course may be diminishing, his presence at the Masters is evolving in new and exciting ways. In 2026, he took on a fresh challenge by joining the broadcast team for the tournament's coverage. Through Amazon Prime Video, Nicklaus became part of a new viewing experience for fans. The platform introduced a dedicated broadcast window from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Time, marking its debut involvement in Masters coverage. Although the decision to spread coverage across multiple platforms drew mixed reactions from fans, Nicklaus's participation was widely seen as a highlight. Hosted by Terry Gannon, the broadcast featured a rotating lineup of guests rather than a fixed panel of analysts. Nicklaus served as the centerpiece, offering insights drawn from decades of experience at Augusta National. Additional programming included segments like Inside Amen Corner, featuring voices such as Jeff Ogilvy and other analysts who provided in-depth commentary on one of the course's most iconic stretches. For fans, hearing Nicklaus break down the nuances of Augusta, from course strategy to mental toughness, added a new dimension to the viewing experience. His ability to connect past and present, sharing stories from his own career while analyzing modern play, made him an invaluable addition to the broadcast. Ultimately, the events of that opening morning captured everything that makes the Masters special. There was history, humor, and a sense of continuity that transcends generations. Nicklaus's errant shot may not have been perfect, but it was memorable, and perhaps even more meaningful because of its imperfections. In many ways, the moment served as a reminder that even the greatest athletes are human. Time changes everyone, but the passion for the game can endure. Nicklaus's willingness to step onto the tee, despite physical challenges and the risk of mishap, speaks to his love for golf and his respect for the tradition. As he transitions into new roles and embraces different ways of contributing to the sport, one thing remains clear: Jack Nicklaus's connection to the Masters is as strong as ever. Whether he's hitting a ceremonial tee shot, sharing insights from the broadcast booth, or simply enjoying the atmosphere of Augusta, his presence continues to enrich the tournament. And if future ceremonial shots come with a bit of unpredictability, that might just be part of the charm.